How's it going, good friends? Brian from Apex Detail. Today we will showcase the Turtlewaxice Speed Compound. Easy on the wallet, user-friendly, but is it effective? Does it do everything it claims to do? Let's find out. Turtlewaxice Speed Compound, 16 ounces for just $11.30. This formula was made for those of you just starting to take care of your car, not really comfortable with polishes or compounds yet. Maybe you have a business and you're expanding services from bumper-to-bumper cleanings to maybe paint enhancements or corrections. This formula here is going to be easy to work with. You can work in direct sunlight, no dusting, very long work time, and they made the formula rinsable, and that's important. If you get a little bit between the fender of the door or plastic trim or chrome trim in between emblems and the panel, it can be a bear to get out if you're using some types of compounds and polishes. With this formula, you can just rinse it off, and that's huge. Now, the question we're going to have here, okay, it's user-friendly. Is it effective? Well, let's find out. I have a panel that I set up for a few different types of testing. The compound says it can remove some light blemishes, some light swirls and scratches and love marks. So let's see how it can cut. Let's see how it can finish. This here is set up exactly like I test the cutting compound. From 800 grit all the way up to 2500 grit. And if you've been following the channel for some time, you know exactly what compound gets through what section. If not, I'm going to try and put a link so you can follow that. We're going to use the exact same polisher, the exact same pad that we always use to make a trip down and back and see how far it's made it through these sand marks, removing and making clarity as it goes. Let's get this going. Besides its cutting ability, we also want to keep an eye out for its cycle time or its open time. And that means how long can you work the compound in an area before it starts to flash. And while we're doing that, we can keep an eye on the perimeter to see if it's dusting. If it's a low dusting formula, that's also important. The one thing I want to show you, and shake it up vigorously before you start to use it, it's very thin, almost water-like. No thicker than suntan lotion. I don't believe we'll be able to see, there you can barely see the fine abrasive in there. So it's a fine abrasive. It's probably not going to be the most aggressive compound, and it'll probably finish down darn well. And that's another important factor for those of you just starting out. You don't want a very aggressive compound if you're not comfortable working on panels and knowing how long you can work a panel without burning through. Just like any other testing, the polisher was in the 3rd or 4th speed setting. The arm movement was correction speed. And we also had just my thumb applying the pressure. Exactly the same as all the other compounds being tested. I'm taking my time here. I want to see how long this flashes. You could really work this for a long period of time. Let me bring you in. As you can see, no dusting whatsoever. Absolutely none. And it's still a little bit moist. How is it to wipe off? Not too bad. Not the easiest out there, but not too bad. How has it done cutting through the sections? 2500 grit, 2000 grit, 1500 grit, you're going to start to see the shadows of some of the deeper scratches left in there. 1000 grit, it made an okay attempt. But just, if you've been following the compound series, a lot of them blast right through these two and start to fail here. It actually even made an attempt in the 800 grits. These two sections surprised me with this compound because I know it's not formulated to be aggressive, but that's not bad. It's not bad at all. What we're going to do now is jump over to this section here, and we're going to see how it finishes. We know it actually has more ability to cut than I would have guessed. So you can remove 1500 grit, 2000 grit sand marks. Let's see how it finishes. These two sections here are scuffed. They're both exactly the same. They will represent trouble clear coat. We're going to correct this side. Leave this side be. Then we'll remove the tape. We'll take a look at the 50-50. Before we even get started, we'll get some gloss meter readings to see just what type of jump we can get in gloss and also the clarity after we have used the Turtlewax Ice compound. 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6 readings. We'll get the average and we'll mark it right down here. 76.1. What I'll use in this section, just a 15 millimeter throw and the 50-50 Eurofiber pad. We'll do a crisscross pattern that will be the same as 2 passes. Okay, here is the turnaround that we made with just, well, very little effort, as you can see. Finishes down surprisingly well. Hey, it's not formulated to be the most aggressive compound out there. It's supposed to be a friendly compound, but it does have some ability. Let's get some numbers here. Average of 92.1. That is a huge jump. So, yes, it can cut to a certain extent. It can finish very well. Let's go outside and let's take a look at this, the product claiming it's easy rinse, or it's a product that can be rinsed, especially out of corners if you get it stuck in between two panels or panels and trim and some emblems. The channel's about finding out if products can do what they claim can be done and also what others might claim they can do. What we'll do here is put the compound on that panel. I'm going to put another leading compound on the other side. We'll let them both dry. We'll come back and see if the ice compound rinses off. I do want to get each side on nice and thick. All right, we're going to let both sides dry. We'll come back in a few minutes. We're back. It's been almost a little under 50 minutes. Let's rinse. As you can see, compound is still on there, which was shoals, and the turtle wax is completely rinsed. So if you have a little bit of the compound gets in between the door handles of the panel or some emblems or plastic trim, just rinse it away. And for the final thought segment of the video, the Turtlewax Ice Speed Compound. It has the ability to cut, and actually cuts a little bit more than I expected. It finishes down extremely well. Long working time or cycle time, which means you can work the product before it starts to flash. Dusting, none whatsoever that I saw. It removes, it's okay, it's average. There are a lot of polishes and compounds that remove easier. There are a lot that remove harder. You can work it in the sun, extreme heat. Hey, easy on the wallet. Effective, thumbs up. Brian from Apex Detail. Catch you in the next video.